So here's a question for you. Would you benefit from ongoing support to improve your sales conversations and ultimately close more business? The Sales Maven Society offers you daily support for your urgent sales questions, an extensive library of bite-sized trainings to hone your selling skills, and monthly live coaching calls where you receive individualized coaching from me specific to your business so that you're able to remove any bottlenecks in your sales process. This is the most robust sales coaching program around for an incredible value of only $147 a month. And you can join now for your first month for only $47. You get access to absolutely everything, including the live coaching calls with me. Come check it out and see if this is the place for you to really elevate your business to the next level. You can do this by going to yoursalesmaven.com/society, hit the join now button. And then when it takes you to that page, enter this code, the number 4, the number 7, and the word trial, TRIAL. So 47 trial, all one word, and you'll be a member. I can't wait to see you in there. Now, here's the podcast.
Do sales conversations make you feel awkward or pushy? It's time to ditch the outdated salesy strategies. Your guide, Nikki will show you how to combine kindness with selling skills to meet your prospects where they are, and in the process, how to up-level your influence and income. Learn how to earn business easily and effortlessly. Here's Nikki.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. This is your host, Nikki Rausch. I'm here to offer you tips, techniques, and strategies to master your sales conversations. Today is a solo episode, so it's just you and me here. And we're going to be talking about 3 ways to get out of a sales slump. Let's be honest, they happen. Maybe you're in one now. Maybe you just got through one, or unfortunately, there might be one headed your way. So it's super important that you have a plan, because sales slumps happen in all businesses with everybody that I've ever come into contact with. It's just a natural part of the sales process. So having a plan is a way to keep you on track and keep forward momentum going for when those slumps hit, because inevitably they're going to hit. Now, I will say, I feel like I have been going in and out of a sales slump for the last few years. It's been a really challenging time personally for me, the hardest time in my life that I've been going through. And there have been times where I did start to think like, gosh, if I can't get myself out of this mental, kind of dark, deep place that I was in, what is that going to do to my business? So feeling some fear around it. And if you're feeling fear around it, believe me, I hear you. I've been there, and you can push through. So I want to give you just 3 little strategies that you can pick one, or you can implement all of these strategies. I think these will be helpful. Even if you're like, Nikki, I never hit sales slumps, then I'm going to say, congratulations, you're a unique human. And I appreciate that about you. But I think you'll be able to implement all 3 of these strategies at any place in your business, and you'll find them helpful, but particularly when you're having those times where things feel a little bit harder than other times where you're just cooking along and things are going more smoothly. And this also came up as a question recently in one of the Sales Maven Society coaching sessions. So in the society, we do 2 live coaching sessions a month where people get to come, ask very specific questions to their business, and then get coaching from me. And one of our participants said that she felt stuck in a rut. So the advice that I gave her is going to be the first idea that I'm going to offer you today on how to get out of a sales slump. And it has to do with putting time on your calendar to actually get things done. Now, in this particular case, I was advising her to put 15-minute increments on her calendar for prospecting. business development. It's such an important part of our business. And I think you can use this little 15-minute idea for anything that you need to get done in your business. One of the big mistakes I often find is that people block out huge chunks of time to accomplish tasks. And because they block out these huge chunks of time, they look at it there on their calendar and they go, okay, so I'm going to definitely, get some things done today. I'm going to do some business development. But first, I think I might start a load of laundry. And then, I really need to water the flowers. And now I'm hungry. So I think I'm going to make myself some lunch. So I sit down and have some lunch. And then pretty soon that big chunk of time is gone. So I don't recommend giving yourself these big chunks of time because you will find other things to do. We all do it, especially when it comes to selling and prospecting and continuing to do things that will drive your business forward. So if you give yourself these small little windows of time, it doesn't feel so overwhelming to sit down for 15 minutes and just work, just get some prospecting done, pick up the phone, write an email, do some kind of activity that's going to continue to move your business forward. So with these 15-minute chunks of time, usually what I recommend is think about it doesn't make sense for you to put a 15-minute chunk of time 5 days a week or 3 days a week on your calendar, or maybe just one. Because if you will do even 1 or 2 of those a week, you're going to be making huge progress in your business, because at the end of the month, you'll actually have done some prospecting versus at the end of the month when you have these big chunks of time blocked out on your calendar and your sales coach asks you, how much prospecting did you do this month? And you go, what now? Well, I had it blocked out, but I was just so busy. I just couldn't find the time to fit it in. But I find that if you give these small windows of time, you're much more likely to do it. Now, one of the things that I will say here is don't beat yourself up if you're putting out a fire, if you're dealing with a client situation, if you have to use that time for something else. My rule is if I have time blocked out on my calendar like this and I skip one, then I make sure I don't skip it the next time it comes up on my calendar. So if I skip one, I'm definitely not skipping it the next time. I'm not going to beat myself up for skipping because life does happen. Let's be really candid here. Life happens, and try to make it the next time. And then, try to make it the time after that. And by the end of the month, you will find that you have made progress in your business. And the thing about a sales slump is as long as you're making forward momentum, you are going to pull yourself out of that slump. Okay. Now, idea number 2 that I want to talk about, and this is something that I often give to my private coaching clients. It's something that I do in my own business, and it has to do with tracking your progress. Oftentimes, I find that people don't track their sales. They just wait for their accountant to tell them how much money they're bringing into their business. They don't actively track what's coming in and out. I actively track. Yes, I have a bookkeeper. Yes, I have a CFO. And I also have my handy dandy spreadsheet where I track what is coming in, what revenue is coming into the business each month. And I usually track it sometimes multiple times a week, sometimes multiple times a month. Depends again on my level of busy, right? But do track it. And then here's the other thing I want you to think about with your tracking is oftentimes we'll set these big lofty goals for ourselves. And I like a big pie in the sky goal. However, that can be a little bit detrimental to your mindset when you're feeling like you're in a slump, because you are measuring yourself to this really high standard. So one of the things that I recommend when you're paying attention to what it is that you're tracking or you're setting a goal is that you come up with what I call the good, better, best. So the good is the bare minimum. Like, okay, I can pay my bills this month. I can meet my expenses. That's usually the good. The better is like that next tick up. What would be a little bit of a push for you? That's that better goal that you set. And then best is that pie in the sky goal. But if you're not setting good, better, best goals, you tend to get yourself into a place that does feel like a slump because you get stuck in what's known as digital thinking. So this comes from my background in neurolinguistic programming, where we learn that there are two types of thinking. And I'm sure I have talked about this on the podcast before. There is digital thinking and there's analog thinking. Digital thinking, oftentimes I use the example of, think about a light switch. You walk into a room, you flip the light on, and when you walk out of the room, you flip the light off, or at least in my house, that's a big, big deal. That was like one of the things my parents drilled into me as a child. Like, you do not leave a room and leave a light on, right? So it's on, off. That's digital thinking. Digital thinking is also that yes, no, true, false, black, white, all or nothing thinking. And when you are in a sales slump, oftentimes you're stuck in digital thinking. And what we need to do is move you to analog thinking, because that is where freedom comes. That's when you can start to go, oh, it doesn't feel so heavy. I don't feel so bad about something, or it's not this all or nothing. It's analog. So analog is like a dimmer switch, right? Where you can turn up the brightness in increments. So it's not all on or all off. It's like, oh, it's getting a little brighter. It's getting a little brighter. It's getting a little brighter. So that's what I'm talking about around setting a good, better, best goal. It's helping to get your mindset into this analog thinking. That is where some freedom lies for you, of feeling like, okay, I'm out of my slump. All right. Now, idea number 3 is going to be this is the real sales coach in me coming out, is make an offer. Put out an offer to your list, put out an offer to your existing client base, like put an offer out. When you feel like you're in a sales slump, this is a way to take big action for you. And the offer can be anything. It could be a small offer. It could be a big offer. And please just put one out. I have a little sticky note that I have on my, on my monitor. I'm actually going to show it for those of you who are watching the video. Let's see if you can see it on the camera. It's not well drawn, but this came from a podcast that I was listening to. And this actually is a John, I think it's John Collins is his name. It's from his book, and he has this Venn diagram. And there's the 3 circles. So those of you who are just listening to the podcast, there's the 3 circles. In the first circle is something that you're passionate about. And the second circle is something that you were coded for. This is like the way I heard him describe it is like when you're coded for something, it's like the thing that is just so innately your skill set, it's like, I was just meant to do this. And you have those things. And then the third circle is things that you can make a living doing. So I always think about that in sales is what do people typically want to buy from me? So when I'm deciding to put out an offer, I look at this and I go, what am I feeling particularly passionate about? Like, what is something that I know if I could deliver this or do this with people right now, it would feel like it would light me up inside, because when you're lit up inside, it's hard to stay in a slump, right? And then the second thing is like the coded. What are you coded for? So for me, oftentimes what I'm coded for is to help people make money so that they can make an impact in their life and business. Like that is super satisfying to me for clients to come back and be like, oh, I just made some money doing this thing that I worked with Nikki on. Like, oh, that's so satisfying. And then the things that make a living for me oftentimes kind of goes back to this coded thing, because oftentimes people will invest in things that are going to make them money. So when I talk about making that offer, it's like, what is calling you right now? Because if you're able to deliver that, it's going to help you get out of a slump, and it's going to like light you up. And when you're lit up, things get easier, right? So I found this a couple months ago, was definitely in a darker period and definitely feeling the slump in my own, personal life. And so I started thinking about like, what is something that really lights me up? And this was something I hadn't really spent a lot of time doing in the last couple of years, was taking on VIP clients, because I love VIP clients and they're a lot of work, and they get big momentum. They get big wins when I get to work with somebody in a kind of an intense period of time, do a deep dive into their business. So I hadn't really been making VIP offers, and I decided to put one out there and see what did people think about it. And the response was really great. I actually signed up more VIPs in this very short window of time than all of last year, than what I did all in 2022. And it's been super satisfying and a lot of fun. Some of them have already come to a conclusion in their VIP program. Some are still like getting started. Some are in the middle. And it's just been really exciting and has lit me up, right? So make an offer. What can you offer right now to your clients or to your prospects that are on your email list, if you have an email list, that would help you kind of keep that momentum going? And then the last thing I want to leave you with is, remember that everything takes time. There is a little bit of planting seeds. So this is why you want to keep pushing yourself to keep going, like push through that slump. Even do you know how to recognize and act on a buying signal? I have a gift that is going to teach you these 17 buying signals so that you're ready when you get them to take action and move somebody to the next part of the sales conversation. You can get this right now by going to yoursalesmaven.com/Maven. Go grab it now. And if it's just 15 minutes once a week, right, of doing something that is eventually going to pay off in your business. They often say a lot of the efforts that you do around sales will show up between 60 and 90 days later. Sometimes it's even longer. So keep going, keep doing that one little thing. And also, I said that was the last thing, but I'm going to say this too. I really want to honor where you are right now. I know that from, again, from my own personal struggles, but also with clients who have shared some of their personal struggles that they're going through, people that are going through health issues, people that are grieving, people that, life has kind of given them some hard knocks right now. I want to honor that of where you are. And sometimes maybe even 15 minutes might feel like too much. Please honor that for yourself. If that's too much, then do something else that does make you feel a little bit better. I know in my background in NLP, oftentimes we always say, like, get people up and moving, because one of the things when you're not feeling great, when you're feeling stuck, we tend to stay very still. And when you get up and move, it's hard to stay in that exact same mindset, because when you change your body, you change your brain. So get up and move. So I know for me, I've been doing a lot of walking and it is good. It's healthy, right? Like, one, it's a little bit of exercise, but it does help my brain not stay so stuck in the negative piece of the things that I've been going through. So I want to encourage you to get up and move too, and just do what you can when you can, and things will change. The answer to the riddle, what makes a happy man sad and a sad man happy? This too shall pass. So wherever you are right now, if you're feeling like you're in a slump, this too shall pass. Keep going, keep moving. And if you're not in a slump and one comes on, keep moving. You can get yourself out of it. All right. I believe in you. I wish you continued success in all that you're doing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Please share if you got something useful out of this episode. Please let me know. It is an absolute delight to hear from listeners, to hear from my audience, people who share very specific things that they like about the show or something that they've used and they've had some benefit from. That keeps me out of slumps too. So I always appreciate any kind of share that you want to make. And if you like this episode and you think somebody you know would benefit from it, please share it with them as well. All right, have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Sales Maven. Visit us online at yoursalesmaven.com/maven for more resources to boost your confidence and skills.
Are you ready to increase your confidence in your sales conversations? I have a gift for you that is going to show you exactly how to do that. It is my Closing the Sale ebook. It's all about leveling up your confidence, giving you language to use, how to seamlessly move somebody through the sales process. And you can get it right now by going to yoursalesmaven.com/Maven. Go grab it.